Hey, morning, everyone. So remark, but I'm going to talk about tools. It's what I do usually. So I'm going to talk about performance testing. So who here does some performance? Not drag queens, just normal performance testing. Okay, so not that many people. That's usual stuff. I was just expecting one or two hands up. So, well, as Ricard said, I'm Almudena. I'm one of those weirdos that are spending their days and wasting their nights running tests, massive tests, load tests. Now I'm working for Lidl. So if you go to buy Monsieur Cousin, don't go, because well, we have some performance issues there. I'm working now in SCRM, that is apart from Lidl, that is big data. So we have a lot of things to know from everyone. I used to work for Telefónica, that I see some people there, and InfoJobs, that I see some people there as well. So I've been working a lot, and a lot of years in performance during, I think it's 16 years now. So I've seen a lot of things when DevOps didn't exist yet. So what I'm talking about, one of the characteristics of performance is to be basically part of DevOps. I've been always talking between the devs and the operators. You know why? It's the devs, they say, I want my code running in my machine, it works. And then the operator said, but in production doesn't work. Back in the day when we have the data centers, I remember some person over there that was, I don't have CPU in my database. How much CPU do you need? Okay, so I was measuring that. So I was just in the middle. So it was sort of DevOps. Back in 16 years ago, that DevOps didn't exist at that point. So nowadays, I'm more integrated into the development teams, but I'm alone. You know, I'm alone. I'm the only performance engineer in an organization of almost 100 persons. So I need to facilitate things to the DevOps team, to the developers, to whoever that wants to run a performance test. And that's what I'm going to talk about, so I need a tools. And not only a tool, I need several tools. I mean, who here uses Jmeter? Or have used Jmeter, has suffered Jmeter? Okay, yeah, here, you suffer a lot. I'm with you, my friends, I suffer it a lot. So one of the things is that when you go, in Telefónica, we used to have a Git hero, that is, you cannot merge your own pull requests. No one was merging my EMX, no one at all. It was like, oh, this is hell, it's an XML, no one reads it, there's no difference, you cannot do anything there. So I was just accepting my pull requests. That was, well, I lost, of course, my Git hero. So it's a review hell. No one is reviewing your test, no one is reviewing anything, so you are just messing around with tests. So what is the first step then to being able to facilitate life to developers or to DevOps? As a performance engineer, I want my clean code sustainable and repositable. That sounds that good. Readable. Actually, I want it to be readable, that anyone can understand what that test does. Okay, so I want as well not to have an interface execution. I don't want to need the interface to learn or to understand what the test does. I want to integrate with different tools. I mean, I really love, even I suffer it in silence, I love Jmeter. But I like Gatling, or I like Apache Benchmark, or Locust, or other tools that I can use in different environments and systems. And of course, I want to parallel testing. I want just not to be running a test for 24 hours, but just being able to run several tests in several scenarios and workloads in parallel. So here it comes the Taurus. It's a tool by blazemeter. It's based on Python. You can just run there. You have my GitHub there that you can check the scripts I'm going to do, because I'm gonna do a demo. Just cross your fingers that it will work. So you just have to install the blazemeter. And what does it do? What does this tool? It's just a wrapper over several executors engines, like Jmeter, Gatling, even Selenium, Mapping, Locust, many of them. And you just have that amazing and wicked code that anyone can understand. It's a kind of magic. So it's amazing, you know, after 16 years, you see this code and you see, oh my God, I can understand everything, I can explain it. But what happens is that usually I have loads of legacy code, loads and loads and loads of JMX, of Jmeter scripts that I want to reuse them. So another kind of magic, I can invoke them inside blazemeter, and I don't have to get rid of them. I just can invoke them and just use them inside my blazemeter Taurus, just changing whatever I want to change. So one of the questions usually is, do I have to enter the Jmeter through the Wii mode, through the interface, just in order to change, I don't know, the request defaults, just to change the environment, or just to change the username or the ramp up or whatever? No, you just can do it through Taurus. So you see here that you have like the logins CSV that you can put a data source that you need there, like you would do in Jmeter. You can use the URL in the request, so you can change it from the code. It's way easier than entering the interface. And you just have everything here. Okay, you see here my email. You can send me whatever you want. Another thing that we can do is just to reuse the scenarios. This is one thing I used to talk about in different Jmeter workshops. That is just, you create all the endpoints and then the different workloads. So you can run a capacity test or a ramp-up test or a stress test, not changing anything, just calling the module. There's a module controller in Jmeter that allows you to call any of the endpoints that you define above. So you have only to move or change these endpoints here instead of this. This strategy of testing, you can as well do it with Taurus, okay? So you have an include scenario. So you don't have to create all the workloads and the tests. So in performance, you have two strategies. So you have the workload, that is how many users, how long will I run the test, and the scenario, that is itself the feature or the functionality you want to test. So you don't need to write everything down, all the mutations that you have over the test, all the iterations. You just run the scenario and then the workloads, and you just can implement it. So one of these XML, horrible XML, that you have suffered in silence, these ones, it will convert into this. Way easier, right? Do you like this? I love it. I'm in love. I'm really in love with this tool. So you see, you can just change as well the criteria. So depending on the environment, you're just going to change the criteria, and it's way easier to change it. So what happens at the end in Git when you want to run it or just to review? It's easy. You can have a reviewer there, and you will see that you have to review only this instead of all this XML. So it's really nice. One of, if you see here, I can do command line. That is, I will show it in the demo. But I can convert JMX into YAML. That is the structure, the language that Taurus is using behind. So underneath. So you can reuse all the scripts that you have. You can convert them into Taurus. So this is actually the interface during execution of Taurus. Do we want this? That's the question. That's when the DevOps side of myself enters. So I'm not going to use this. I'm going to use Grafana, Influx, the usual stuff. You can use Kibana or whatever, or Graphite. But I'm going to use Influx and Grafana. And I'm going to have all my iterations and tests in that environment, and everything with Docker. You have as well it in my GitHub. So that's it. I can stop now? Or do you want me to go with the demo? Okay, let's go with the demo. Let's see if it works. So first, madre de Dios, perdón. I'm going to change this because I'm having them in my face all the time. So first is that, as I told you, I have a Docker repository where I have my Docker Compose there. Well, we can watch it. We can see it if we want. It just will get a container with influx. Anyone knows influx, or any British here is influx or influx? It sounds better, influx, actually. So influx is grafana. I think I have a lot of stuff here. Sitespeed.io that I'm not going to talk about that one, but you can have it as well. Of course, a Jenkins, because we want to run it. I'm really lazy. I just want Jenkins to work for me, so let it work. So it's only that. So let's see. Vale. Let's see if it works. So you know, Docker Compose app, plus C. I think I can like this, or maybe I need a, okay. So I have my Jmeter here, and I have my Taurus repository here. So you can say, okay, Almudena, you're talking about Taurus, you said that the scripts are really easy, okay, it's YAML, but I'm really lazy. I just want something to write it for me. I'm that lazy. I like magic. So, well, I was running it during, sorry Mark, but I was doing this during your talk. So there's an extension in Chrome that allows you to be lazy as me and to create the tests easily. Of course, there's no magic here. You will have to touch the script. There's nothing for free. You have to just interact with it and just do some stuff. But what is the skeleton of the script, it will work, right? So for example, if I want to run a DevOps, just to create a DevOps, a test to load DevOps Barcelona, be careful, Ricard. Keep the servers up for me. No, I'm not going to run it. I said that I was going to be a good girl. So I just can't do like this. I just going to open something. Or you can tell me which let's see, the guys here in the front, which page site do you want me to stress? A bank? Not Lidl. I'm not going for that. Adevinta, that's a good one. InfoJobs. I run several tests on InfoJobs on my days. So let's say, so this is the public demo, okay? I'm really here. I'm just okay. This is dangerous. I didn't try. This is demo live. So public audience. Sorry, audience. Test. Let's see if it works. So let's go for InfoJobs. InfoJobs.net. Is it still like that, right? No, QQ, no. More QQ, less pew pew. Oh, I cannot reach it. Do I have internet? Ah, que he puesto perdón. Joder. It's demo time. So it's InfoJobs. No one is looking. I'm not going to do. Who's in charge of InfoJobs now? Is Johnny around? Don't tell him it's me. So Sefin project. You see that it's a filter. It's just a proxy that you do here. So you just can't save in project. That it will get to the, how do you call it, to the blazemeter site, or you just can just download it. Okay. Ay, joder. So you can download it here. Did I stop it? No. Here. Save. Hola. Save. Ah, no, it's recording now. Okay. Now I save it. So, edit. Jmeter script. Here. You see, it went to infojobs, 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 like several times. It did an options. Oh my God. Several things, analytics like usual, and the post. So you can, as I did, you can do the Taurus, that it will improve, it will be a really nice YAML, readable. You can see. You have here, for instance, usually I use this tool in order to know, for example, the headers. I'm not going to just write all the headers down, so I just run the script and I capture all the headers there. A body from a post, it's more or less readable, right? What do you think? It will work? Demo time? I'm really in danger here. I don't know if someone is going to allow me to do that. And this is sudo, by the way. Okay. Tap. Ah, you didn't see that one. So, let's see if it works. Documentos. It's in, actually it's in descargas. Well, let's see the one that I did before, that I don't know either if it worked. DevOps Barcelona. Not gonna do the one of InfoJobs. And I'm gonna do the one of InfoJobs. Fuck it. Descargas. Sorry for Jonathan or whoever is there now, but BZT, blazemeter Taurus, audience, Jmeter, YAML. I can tell you, it won't work. That's something that you have to change. You have to change some of the variables and all the configuration sometimes. So, well, it's preparing. Maybe it will work. It would be amazing if it works. So it's magic, something that you don't understand sometimes. So, let's check, yeah. So this is actually what is it doing? Let's see. What is it doing? It's preparing, waiting for it. It's working! We're stress loading InfoJobs. Sorry. I didn't want to do it. I didn't mean it. I didn't want, well, I will stop it, okay? I don't want anyone just to, I'm fully aware that it will work. We put much effort in making it work, but okay, I'm just gonna stop. So you see, it's really easy to run a test, really easy. But this is just it's a request, okay? It's just asking for the home and it's doing not that much. So if you want more complicated tests, you have just to go to Jmeter, just convert it, just do things like the performance engineer used to do, that is running and creating designing and creating the tests. So what can we do with that, all that legacy that we have? And I told you that there's a magic there. So you see this one, for example, that is like that I have several backend endpoints, one that it fails, one that it doesn't. I'm going to show you that it works, actually. Aggregate reports. I'm going to run it. And as well that I'm going to, let me check, it works. Okay, so this one as well, this test should be in Grafana. And I'm going to tell you what I do to show it in Grafana, actually. What is Grafana? Grafana is, no, 8080 is, what is my Grafana? Here. What is my Grafana? I lost my Grafana. No, my Grafana is here. So the test is here, it's running right now. They have 10 active users. It's a dummy test, okay? I can run that. Not like InfoJobs. I can run this one because it's going nowhere. So it's just a dummy test. And it has two scripts, two request names. That one is failing, and the other one that it's going correct. So you can see here in real time, you can see how the test is going. So that's good. And of course, we have all the things that Grafana it's empowering us to do, and to have all the dashboards that we want. We could have here telegraph or a collectd, whatever we want, just to correlate the information from the servers or from the cloud and with the tests. So we have all the information in one dashboard. And we don't have to go to the test itself just to see it. That's the point. I'm running here just to prove you that it works like, so that the test results are the same that I have in the Grafana. Okay, but it's this. So what actually the demo is about Taurus. So what if I have like this test? Okay, this is the usual stuff that it makes Jmeter horrible. So what is the point? I have the Jmeter, but I'm not an expert in Jmeter. I have someone that is creating the tests for me. So what shall I do? I'm a DevOps. I'm not a Jmeter expert. So I can do two things, okay? One is make this Jmeter more readable, and it's magic again. It's like, so this was DevOps, okay? So it's yamx to yaml, and the name of the script that is Taurus dummy yamx. It will do something really, really ugly, that is just to put the YAML at the end of the name. So, vale, muy bien. It doesn't, okay, so I have to do something. Oh, it's demo time. Yeah, I misspelled it. Yeah, of course. Okay. This is never do a demo live in a, but it's worth it, right? It's mola, it's cool. So I have it here. I have the Taurus dummy yamx YAML here. It's here. So that thing, it's only this one. Okay, it's fine. It's just like this. Actually, you have to test. You have to do it a bit just to be like this. So this is the same one. I will use the Taurus dummy .jmx. I will just modify it just to disable one of the modules that you can see. I have two of them, capacity and ramp up. So at this time I say, okay, I only want to run ramp up. I just want to do a load test in order to find how many requests or how many threads can I support in the system. So what shall I do then? Well, now I have to. I have the virtual env. This is, as I said, it's a virtual Python environment. So I will source bin. No, it's actually in bin activate. Yeah. Okay, here it is. So now I can do like this. bzt dummy. I think it's called dummy YAML. And I will have the same. And I will have as well the results printed showing in Grafana. So this is local. This is one when you want you're testing your test. Actually, you're testing that it works. You're doing your demo live, and it's working. It's doing something there. But what happens when you wanted to put it in a pipeline or just in a continuous integration because you want to run it by night, or you don't want to be there when it's run. So of course you can just prepare your Jenkins in order to run Taurus, okay? And I will show you afterwards. After this run, you see the execution. Yeah, it's in Grafana. I was just scared for a second that it was not showing. Doesn't disappoint. So you can see here what's here. How do I integrate Taurus or Jmeter with Grafana and Influx? There's a backend listener that you have to download as usual in Jmeter. It's a jar. It's a backend listener. That is not the one that comes with the, actually, it's not the one that comes with the bundle itself. It's from Novatech. So you can find in Grafana as well the Novatech one, and you can see it is a backend listener. Backend listener here. So it's this year here. Well, you have the influx graphite or influx one. Okay, so you have this one here. So you only have to put the test name, the node name, the host, the DB port, the DB user, so everything that you have actually in your Docker Compose that you have the nodes and the ports. So everything is fine there. Of course, you have to create your, how do you call it, the database for your reports, for your results. And that's it. There's nothing there. And Grafana, of course, you just get the dashboard that you want. You can import it. It's a Novatech. You can import it easily and just collect data from those influx. So I think that you are experts on Grafana, right? Anyone wants me to enter in Grafana, so how I put the data? I don't think that. Okay, it's pretty easy. I can show you here, but well, it's pretty easy, this one. Why this one and not the one that comes in the bundle? Because this gives more information. That's the only thing that you can see on it. It's a dashboard. It doesn't have anything. So more things that we can do with the Taurus. This is the existing. So what I said is that I have disabled the capacity. I can disable the ramp up. Actually, do you remember if I wrote it with capital U or not? Ramp up, yeah. A mujer de costumbres. So, ramp up. Yeah. So there are things that those jokes, mini jokes I do, I cannot do it in English. It's a defect that I have. And I talk to myself, usually, constantly. It's like, what's that, Mark? That there's no communication? Yeah, I'm the one that is talking behind the keyboard, usually. So. No worries for me. So it's my sanity. So I can run it as well, again, and it will just run a different workload. This one is going to run this one here. So the difference between the ramp up and the capacity is just running like a rival thread group that is just uniform, and the ramp up is just running concurrent threads, right? This is the difference. There's nothing there. So you can see it in the report that it will be uniform. So with just a change in the YAML, I can just run different workloads. It's that easy. I don't have to enter in the Jmeter interface just to enable or disable or that horrible mess that you have to do with Jmeter. You just do it programmatically with YAML. More things that you can do is just run with different executors. For example, when we are executing for data platform with Scala, usually, that we use, one of the best engines that uses Scala is Gatling. So you can run your test with Gatling, and you can have the power of your developers that are experts in Gatling, just in order to run your tests and to modify your tests. So maybe you just want to use Gatling. Yeah, you see, or Locust, if you have, for example, in my organization, actually in both, in Telefónica and in Lidl, our, how you call them? Well, the testers, the software engineers in test, I think they are called now, they run the tests, they write the tests in Python. So I'm lazy. I want to reuse their code. So what I do, I run my tests in Locust, reusing their code, okay? So it depends sometimes on the executor. This wrapper allows you to call or to invoke any of those executors or any of those motors. Or a Apache benchmark, if you just want to run a test on a request, why not Apache benchmark? It's the easiest one, right? So I just have to do here just to put Gatling or just to put anything here. By default, it's Jmeter. Sorry, I think I'm getting too close to this. So by default, it's Jmeter. If you don't have, for example, if I put here AB, do you want me to do another leap of faith? Just to put, I know that this machine doesn't have Apache benchmark. So I can trust Taurus, and I trust it, and I can just call executor AB, and just to show you what it will do. Who wants me to have a leap of faith? Okay, not that many people, so Jmeter is fine. Okay, you don't trust the tools, you don't trust the speaker, that's not new. So I will do it anyway. And you knew that I was going to do it. So if I don't have the tool, for example, ay, joder, ame. Okay, no, don't laugh at me. Laugh at the speaker, it's the day. BCT, how was it called? Quick test, I think it called. Quick test. So I think I put AB, right? Did I put AB? No, isn't implemented. Oh, it failed badly. I'm gonna put Gatlink. Let's see if it works. And the last step I'm gonna do, and I have like 20 minutes. No sé, mierda. So it's the other one, it's a quick test. So you should download Gatling. Actually, it's doing it, Gatling. Well, we'll install, you see, we'll install Gatling into, it's installing Gatling for me as well. So it does everything. If you don't have the tool, it will install it to the last version that Taurus is reflected. Well, it didn't work for Apache benchmark. I don't know why, but usually it works. I can tell you that. But if you don't have the tool, so if you can just put the Taurus in any. Oh, permission denied. So what I was saying, you can put the tool, the pp-bsat-t in any environment that you want and just run the test that you want because it will do the work for you. It will install, it will create. You just need to be sure that you have a virtual environment so you don't damage the other things, okay? But what I said, it's like, okay, you have a virtual environment. Why not a Docker? Yeah, right, we have a Docker. We have everything in Docker, right? So, well, this is one of the utilities that we have, and the other one, of course, is the continuous integration. So let's go to Jenkins. Let Master Jenkins do the job for us. Tell me it works. I was preparing this part with Jenkins yesterday night at 11 o'clock. So this is a leap of faith. This is for sure a leap of faith. So Mr. Jenkins is doing it now. I'm going to close the info jobs, just not... you didn't see anything, guys, from Adevinta? Don't tell anyone that I did it. Waiting for localhost. Tell me it works. Dashboard Jenkins. So easy. You see here I have a DevOps demo. It's a simple pipeline. No, it's not even a pipeline. It's just a job, okay? It's just a project, a plain project, where I configured only, well, the usual stuff, right? I could do the pipeline, but I was trying yesterday and I was not able to do it. But it's a bit slow right now. But yeah, it's the usual pipeline. What I do is just to grab all the code from my repository. Actually, it checks if I have done a commit. So if I do a commit in my repository, it will trigger a build. And it will run the blazemeter Taurus in Docker. Okay, so Docker run with the configurations of the test. This is mapped between the Docker container and my local. So again, it's the artifacts, the blazemeter Taurus that it's going to download the image that it's going to use, and the test that it's going to run, okay? So let's see if it works. We could have a bet. Now it will work. I'm running anything else? I don't know if I'm running anything in my host, maybe. So this is parallel testing, okay? This is usually the performance test that you run like for 40 to 48 hours and you forget that you have something there running. So you run something else and you say, oh, I ran out of sockets. Okay, I have another test running in background. So this is usual stuff. So one of the things that I didn't do, but you can do here, it's the usual performance plugin that you use for Jmeter. You can reuse it for the report of Taurus as well. That is the usual of JUnit or XUnit. So I didn't do that, but it's really easy to create. Here it's, of course, the report. You can see that it's running. It's the same as we are running in local. So we can see that we have the same reports in local than with a Docker. So everything is fine, and you can just have as many agents as you want, because you can run all the containers that you want, actually. And that's how you distribute the load in your system, right? So this is just, well, actually, it will just run and do nothing. So one of the things that you can do as a DevOps, you see that your developers are just doing commits in the repository. I put it on master, okay? So what we should do as a developer, as a DevOps or a performance engineer, is just to have this trigger in the master, and once there's a commit or there's an integration from a merge from develop to master, just promoting one branch to master, you should run the tests. But of course, if you want to run it for each branch, you feel free to do it. One of the things that we usually do, and it's the last part of the talk, and I'm going back I'm going back to safety with the presentation. Okay, I'm not going to demo. Well, I'm going to demo a bit more. Well, this one is that you can run it in all the environments. It's Docker. Wherever you want, you have Docker, you can run it. It's multi-platform. You see that you have the nightly build or weekly builds and trigger. Is that you can, with branch or even before, you can do a bit of TDD. If you have Swagger, for example, in our organization now, in SCRM, we're using Swagger for the application setup, for the application development. We can just run mocks or create mocks in order to create the tests at the first. So that's as easy as you create a mocks, and from the Swagger you create the Taurus implementation. You will see it. We'll just run it again. But what improves that in our lives as a performance engineer, that we can just have our testing as early as possible. So we can script the tests, and once the developer is doing the commits, without me noticing, the test may be working perfectly, because they are following the specification I followed to create the tests. So that's a good thing. And that's if anyone is interested, is the Swagger part. It's a talk I will give in 15 days in Madrid. It will be published as well, so it will be fine. But that's a really interesting part, that is creating the performance tests as early as possible. Okay. So what is the summary of the talk? You have to reuse your code to make it readable. Jmeter is hell. You cannot read XML, so you just need to have it in YAML, that it's really easy to implement and really easy to read. You can just share it between all the teams in your organization. So almost everyone, devs and DevOps and operations, will be able to read YAML. There are more tools outside than Jmeter, so use them. So if you have an environment that is using Scala, please use Gatling. If you have an environment using Python, or you are more expert in Python, just use Locust. Just don't keep Jmeter because everyone is using Jmeter. There are a lot of tools. Of course, collaborate with the whole team. One of the things I have to improve myself, and I have been trying to improve it during the last 16 years, is to give clear reports to the stakeholders. So it's like, you talk too much techie. So one of the things that I usually do is that I give graphs and numbers. Taurus allows that. You have the grafana, you can have all your graphs and just correlate the graphs, and you can show, okay, this is happening, this is the response time to your stakeholders. That's the things that they see. And of course, let Jenkins do the job. So you just can run, and it's just a line and it runs. You don't need to do anything, just integrate a plain job. You don't have to do anything else. And of course, Lidl is recruiting. And of course, you can have your app now in your phones and come and see us in the supermarkets and give us more tickets to understand and to to generate. And well, I think that you have 5 minutes for the questions. If you have anything, let me check if everything is running okay. I didn't do anything, no? DevOps is okay, it's still up. InfoJobs is still up, anyone knows? Yeah.
I think we will need to add something to the code of conduct, so don't DDoS your sponsors, but you know that may be for next year. So any questions or I guess you want coffee now?
Yeah, everyone is asleep. Well, you can find me and talk to me in Twitter as well, everywhere. I talk a lot.